This what happened when I think about you. I get in my feelings, yeah. I start reminiscing, yeah. Next time around, fuck, I want it to be different, yeah. Waiting on a sign, guess it's time for a different prayer. Lord, please favor for me. Do this one favor for me. I had to change my players' ways. Got way too complicated for me. I hope she's waiting for me. Everywhere she go, they playing my songs. That's why I say the things that I say that way. I know you can't ignore me. But yeah. So give me all of you in exchange for me. Just give me all of you in exchange for me. For me. Break it down. Yes, sir. Yeah. We used to stay up and then stay up, had sex and then blow dang. I should've played no games with you, just leveled up my brain. Last time I saw you, we ain't speak, that was strange. Yes, there's nothing I could do, man, it's true. Exes changed, yeah. Hey, yes, you changed for the better. I know you know how to make me jealous. I was never loyal, let you tell it, yo. But I'm ready to fix it if you ready, baby. Yeah. So give me all of you in exchange for me. Just give me all of you in exchange for me. For me. For real, shout. Yeah. Is you at 2 keys or 10 rules? Turn up, we on pillow, we just getting loose. Baby, I'm low-key feeling you. Don't be cynical, won't fuck you over. Wanna fuck you over. Then again, the truth is I ain't really here to start problems. Realize what a God do. Hoes can't never say they got him. Know how bad you wanna tell them, don't try him. I don't wanna tell them, let's surprise him. I don't wanna get into it, why you stressing him? I've been driving back and forth from Louisville to Lexington. Mileage on the whip, got your ass in my grip. College, make you wanna strip for them dollars. Nah, girl, I got a job for you. Swear to God, I could do a lot for you. Saw you strolling through the campus, I had to stop for you. I was scrolling through the gram, girl, I had to follow you. This what happened when I think about you. I get in my feelings, yeah. I start reminiscing, yeah. Next time around, fuck, I want it to be different, yeah. Waiting on a sign, guess it's time for a different prayer. Lord, please favor for me. Do this one favor for me. I had to change my players' ways. Got way too complicated for me. I hope she's waiting for me. Everywhere she go, they playing my songs. That's why I say the things that I say that way. I know you can't ignore me. But yeah. So give me all of you in exchange for me. Just give me all of you in exchange for me. For me.
What you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans. Don't say that. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good to be alone. My house clean, my pool warm. Just shake smooth like a newborn. We should be dancing, romancing in the east wing, in the west wing of this mansion. What's happening?
I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're trying to lay in these arms,
I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through. Ooh, you're so sweet, so tight. I won't bite unless you like. If you smoke, I got the haze. And if you're hungry, girl, I got the lace. Ooh, baby, don't keep me waiting. up in this bubbling.
I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're trying to lay in these arms,
I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. That you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you got me I need you, baby. I got to see you, baby. Girl, I'm trying to give you this. I'ma leave my door open, baby. I'ma leave my door open, girl. Hoping that you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you got me you seem
I'm looking for somebody I can call. Looking for the only one I can get my own. Tell me that it's you.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so happy to have every one of y'all here with us, joining us again for our second part of the book review. What is it? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. A lot of us have already spoke. We met this morning. If you're coming back in the room, good afternoon to y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Couple of things. We most definitely have us a goal set. Thank you so much. I think that was Regina that made the first contribution towards hitting our goal. We have a goal set. Thank you, Regina, for 10 super chats, $5 and above. Let's make sure we hit our goal. All is appreciated. All is considered support. And there, for that, I love y'all. Okay? And y'all appreciate it. So we got that going. If you entered, you see that we have a poll up because, as I stated yesterday, it was a few people wanting to speak or talk, but when the lines opened up, did nobody hit the line? Nobody hit the line. So I'm going to put the poll out there this time, and we're going to let the poll speak, and then that'll determine if we open up the phone line so that y'all can call and chime in as we get through the next few chapters of the book. Let me remind y'all that you can hit *67 in case you're not if you don't know about that, you don't have that information. That is a way that you can block your phone number and maintain your privacy. I don't call, even if I think I know who you are. I'm not going to announce you. You have to announce yourself if you want to be, if you want people to know who you are. It is a discreet and a secure phone line. There's not been any issues ever since we opened it up. So it is a safe place. It is a safe number. Again, you can hit *67 area code, which would be 901-625-1551. And yeah, I'm none the wiser. You know what I mean? We want to hear from you. I'm sure others want to hear from you. And that is another avenue that we can take, that we can also our subscribers and our supporters, and even if you're not a subscriber or a supporter and you have some views and opinions that you want to get off and across, that is another way to do that. It's welcome. The number will be there if the votes in that favor, because we might not even deal with it today. Last week, y'all knew that we will be reviewing the book, so I kind of knew that our regular program would have to resume on Monday. So we'll have our 2-cent vent lines back in full effect on Monday. But for this week, since we are doing our first virtual book review and we all learning together, you know what I'm saying? This is my first time. I learned that I'm actually doing a lot of firsts. It's a lot of firsts. This has happened thus far. We just had another first that we can add to it, but we're not gonna get into that. We'll leave that for the discussion part of the show, of the conversation. And yeah, again, it's good to have y'all back. Drop a purple heart in the chat if you guys enjoyed yesterday's review and y'all look forward to hearing the next few chapters. Drop a heart. Let's do that for me. Humor me. I see quite a few misconceptions being spreaded about, and I hate it because it only allow other people with malicious intent a scapegoat. It just helps spark the idea or water an already thought of idea, and it give it room for it to get legs. So I hate when people do shit like that. I personally don't. For an example, let's just say somebody's page got took or struck, and it was some kind of way of fraud. It was fraudulently, but they still got struck for it. And then you have a person that will get on a panel and talk about the page being struck or took for whatever fraudulent reason that is. To me, that's like telling the people that have ill intent, the people who don't mind being frauds, who are just miserable and evil anyway. To me, it's like you giving them an idea. You probably informing them of things that they would not have otherwise known. So I don't do that because that is really not my message. My message is not to spread hate. My message is not to, even demonstrate hate. Although sometimes it may seem that, that's not my message. That's not who I am. So if I don't have nothing good, if the news that I can spread is not good, then I probably don't opt out of spreading it. So I'll just say that to keep from saying a whole lot more, to keep from going deeper. Dang, did we get okay? So I do see there's a couple of hearts. I might have missed them while I was talking, child, and I didn't look. Okay, thank you, Doug. I appreciate that. I really do. Hey, Pooh. Salute to everybody that's in the room. Let me see. I think I can probably. Okay, so going forward, I will. Okay, I'll start looking at the names going forward. Hey, Raven. Hey, Kills. CC Life. Hey, Melinda. All my key holders. Good afternoon to every single one of y'all. It's good to see y'all back. Hey, Godmother. Go. Hey, go. Hey, Pam. Again. Hey, Noel. Salute to everybody. If I don't call your name, it's not because I don't see you. Hey, LBC. Miss America. Hey, y'all. Hey, highlighted. TT, this heart was from yesterday. Okay, well, I'll take that one. All right. I'll take that one. Hey, Mama UK. Hey, Control. Child, I don't know. But we here now. Again, we do have a goal set, y'all, throughout the broadcast. You might start to feel away. You might feel good. And that prompts you to want to hit that motherfucking goal. Help us reach the goal. And we'll take it then too. And I'm gonna wait a little bit. What's up, Justin? Why is you questioning me about what I ate? Do you really want to know what I ate? Okay, here it go. What I ate was I had a chicken egg roll left from yesterday. Now, ordinarily, I would not be reheating egg rolls, y'all. But everybody know, and if you don't know, it's because you sleeping on it. Everybody know that a good air fryer or toaster up, it could be a toaster, but a good air fryer, it brings everything back to life. How many of us know that? How many of us know a good air fryer will bring some dead food back to life? Okay, just say yes. Hey, Vicky. Absolutely. So what I had, because Justin has asked me that a couple of times. Both times I looked down, I saw Justin had done asked that. I don't know. I think he probably was trying to buy me lunch. But today, you good on it. Now, if you want to send something for dinner, for a good old supper, then you can do that. And salute to those cash apps before we even got here. Thank y'all. Mwah. The biggest, wettest motherfucking kiss on the cheeks. Okay? Yeah, Justin wants to know what I ate. And in case you want to buy dinner, the Cash App is definitely down there rotating. All right? So feel free. Feel free to donate to the platform. It is appreciated. Now, I could even tell you what I'm going to spend your bread on if you want to know. Because I ain't going to lie. That them damn, what they called y'all, what I ate yesterday for dinner. Oh my God. What is it called? Not a cheese chop. A chopped cheese. There we go. That damn chopped cheese done left a whole stain on my motherfucking brain. If I must say so myself. Baby, that motherfucker, that chopped cheese. That third chopped cheese sandwich. Baby, I probably would never order no shit called no chopped cheese. When you say chopped cheese, what you thinking of? Hell, I'm thinking of some cheese chopped up. That's what I'm thinking of, sugar. But, baby, I fucked around and caught one of them episodes of Coco. Is it Coco Love? It's a food channel. And they was making chopped cheeses. And I was like, that don't look too bad. So when I got online last night and got to scrolling, it wasn't too far down. They had an old brochure of a sandwich that looked something like a sub, but in big letters it said chopped cheese. I clicked on that instantly. Baby, I ran to it instantly. So let me open this up. Let me look at here. Let me see what they serve. So I got to reading the menu, scrolling down, getting excited. I said, oh yeah. I got to the top 3. I said, that one there, that one's for me. You the one. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. Yeah. I was like, you deserve it. I selected. They had a few options to put in. Yeah, I was like, I'm going to click this. I thought it was interesting that it was 50 cents extra for, a squirt of mayonnaise. Just a squirt of mayonnaise was 50 cents. And I was thinking, damn, it's a sandwich. I can't get a little Miracle Whip on my sandwich. Huh? So I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But so much for mustard. This gonna be a mayonnaise type of night. Okay? I selected my mayonnaise. And I went on down and they had some other shit and some jalapenos. I said, can I go for a little heat tonight? I looked up in the air. I looked at him. I said, yeah, I think my stomach can handle a little spice tonight. Shit, why not? I selected me a few jalapenos. I completed the sandwich. And then I moved on over to the extras. And amongst the extras, they had an array of fries. Now, I prefer to fix my own fries because y'all know I am a fresh and hot type of girl. I want my shit fresh and hot. So, and they didn't really stand out to me, but I'm giving this new restaurant a whirl. So I'm like, well, at least I could know for the future. So let me just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got me a $4 order of seasoned fries. Okay? I was being extra yesterday, y'all. Extra. Everybody know I do not do no seasoned fries. But I was being extra, babe. I want to make sure I had them chose from the menu so I could kind of shop around the next time I want to, eat with them. So then I moved on down and it went kind of fast. But I remember after, like real quickly, like I passed by what looked like bread and fried. So I put the brakes on the screen. Instant stop. I touched that motherfucker so hard it blew it up. So after I shrunk it back down, finally, to where I could see what was going on, went back up a little bit. It was a fried chicken egg roll. I said, okay. Now, I done had a chicken egg roll, but what caught my attention with this one is they looked like they might have been, if you ever had lumpia, Vietnamese egg rolls, it looked like it was small, like lumpia. So I was like, this got to be some extraordinary motherfucking chicken. This ain't that regular old thigh meat. Can't be. This ain't that cube chunk. I said, well, we're going to get some chicken egg rolls. Okay? So anyways, while I done went all the way down memory lane with what I ate yesterday, Justin, I ate a leftover fried chicken egg roll that was quite satisfying. Okay? It was very satisfying. I ain't gonna lie. And when I eat, I want to enjoy my food. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about nobody else. I'm not eating just to be eating. I know it's people in the world that just eat because they know the body needs nutrients, especially if you're like a health nut. You know what I'm saying? People be eating because they know their body needs food. Now, that's one of the reasons I eat. But I most definitely want to enjoy my food, okay? And now, as I'm speaking to y'all and remembering how nice that egg roll was, yeah. See, at first I thought today dinner I was going to just have me an old nasty chopped chicken. I mean, what is it called, y'all? Chopped beef? Chopped, what is it called? Chopped cheese. See, this is a New York thing, y'all. That's why it don't come natural for me. This is a New York thing. So anyways, I thought I was just going to have me a chopped cheese for dinner. And this time I can add the mustard. You know what I'm saying? Today is the mustard day. We did mayo yesterday. Today is mustard. Okay? And now I'm going to have to go ahead and add another, you know what I'm saying, couple of egg rolls as well. That goddamn chopped cheese left a good old impression on me now. And that's just me being honest. It took up a whole 10 minutes. And guess what else I did? While I was sitting to have my egg roll, I went on and put on my 3 cookies. I went on and put them in the oven. So by the time I got done, they were ready. It was right on time. So I have now at 1:22, I have had breakfast, lunch, and a snack. And I feel pretty good. Okay? I've had my coffee. Everything's been kind of easy breezy. Yeah. Life is good. And I'm grateful. Hey, Lauren. So anyway, now let me get off of my soapbox. Okay? And let's get more into what we're here for. Again, I want to welcome y'all back. Thank y'all so much for joining. We got into our review of the book yesterday. And I mean, y'all, I can't be concerned with what I can't control. You know what I'm saying? You would probably drive yourself crazy if you was trying to control every aspect of everything. You can't do that. So since you can't do that, you just have to pick and choose what to care about, you know? And so that's what I do for the most part. I understand that the wrong idea is going to, you know, spread. I understand that just outright lies are going to spread. And I understand that opinions are going to spread. It is what it is. You know what bothers me? What bothers me is how bothered y'all be. And I mean it. That's what bothered me. Because I be over here, you know, chilling. And meanwhile, somebody else is considerate enough, empathetic enough to worry or be concerned or feel for me. So, I would be less than a human, less than a woman, if knowing that didn't make me feel some kind of way. And it does. It just does. So, I try to reassure y'all that I'm okay, that I'm good, that everything is good. But I do know what it is to worry and feel for others. But it don't go unnoticed, and I most definitely appreciate y'all, sincerely. So, we went over, hey Max, well, I gotta give some context first, and then I will. Let me see, what is the poll saying? I gotta switch screens for a sec. Y'all can see I'm by myself right now. So it's all me. Okay, so it is how many people here? Hold up. How many people in the room? $117 votes. I should have had a slash to make sure that all of these votes are at least the votes of people who plan on calling the phone. That's what I should have done. So remember, y'all, I always try to provide, an environment, an atmosphere that can suit and fit the mood that I'm in. So, I'm not in a rushed position. It's a very relaxed position. You should be relaxed. And we're going to get to it. Let me put this new poll up here. Yesterday, I didn't take no puss, but today I did. Okay? I did. So this might be even a whole another vibe because of that alone. All right, let me put this on here. So, what was my question, y'all? Oh, let's XR you. No, that's not right. 2. Oh, Lord. All right. There we go. So now, vote yes or no if you actually have sense that you're ready to speak. Now vote. Let me know now if you have 2 cents to vent. And then that is what's going to determine if we open up the phone lines. If I open the phone lines so that y'all can be heard, so that y'all can, get y'all shit off. That other question It's a lot of people that want them open, but that don't mean they need to be open because they don't plan on calling. So let's do that again. My bad. I got the chopped cheese. You like the third person asked me about that because I don't know, people might be hearing me and think I'm sounding crazy by talking about it, but the chopped cheese is just not nothing that, that be going around talking about in my city. You know what I'm saying? We know that's a New York thing. So when I ran across that, you know what I'm saying, on the menu, on the list, I was like, wow, I just was looking at this and thought, damn, I want to, you know what I'm saying, I would love to have that. And I'm going to look for you right now while I wait on them to vote in. And we finna get to it, y'all. NYC Deli. That's the name of it. So New York City Deli, baby. And they fuck thizzle, okay? We most definitely will be right back on their ass today. Okay, for sure. Now, let me see. Let me go back to the other screen. Let me try to see. Oh, I don't know why the fucking why everything moves so slow. All right, we got 49 votes thus far for people with 2 cents. We got how many people in the attendance? 269 according to this, and that's not including the people on Twitch. So shout out to my Twitchers, to my people over there in the stove. Salute to y'all for those super chats trying to help us meet our goal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see what Lakers had to say. Hey, my boo-boo. Hey, boo. Thanks from us. That looks forward for the transparent on the sector 411. Most sectors Oprah Winfrey. Okay, let's go. Let's go, Lakers. They must know. Oh, but they do. Let me go back up, see if I can read the roses. Hey, roses. Always. Thank you so much. Always showing support. As well as LBC. Thank you, LBC. Let's be the clearest. Okay? You know what it is. And Regina. All right. What the vote said? Let me see. 68 votes. Well, I don't know. I'm subject to say that's enough. Because if I have to take half, if I take half of 70 votes, we wouldn't be off the phone until, February. So I think that's more than enough people that have 2 cents. So with that being said, it looks like the phone line will be open. All right. Now, it's because I'm in the other screen. It should be okay now. And hopefully y'all could understand me. Hey, Manny. Thank you so much, Manny. Another strong supporter. As well as my guy, MT. What's going on, MT? You all right? You've been taking you a little sabbatical? And KB. Good afternoon, KB. Are we good with the audio now? We should be good, y'all. Okay, the last thing I got right now, I got you being funny, and I'm trying to figure out, is the audio good? Well, then maybe I need to refresh. Has it been that way the whole time? I'm good, MT. Thank you for asking. Hey, TikTok. All right, let me just do a quick refresh because I don't know why it would be choppy at this point. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's be clear. All right. So yesterday, y'all, we started with the book, and We went through the first three chapters where we met. Oh, let me introduce the book again. We are doing a book review on Still Her, written by, our CB, author Courtney Brown, right? And it's The Woman Kay Couldn't Kill. Now, I also heard a little talk about this this thumbnail. I heard some talk about the thumbnail. And I'll just sum this up with saying this so that we don't get off track. It's just a thumbnail. It's simply that, a thumbnail. Now, that should explain to people that maybe they were not sure about what was going on there. You know what I'm saying? It's just a thumbnail. But anyways, it's no different from any other thumbnail that I have up that I want to fit what's going on once you come past the thumbnail. So that's it. And what that highlighted to me is it's amazing how other people's perception could be of you. That is a little wee bit of an insight into how something so small could mean so much, depending on who is talking about it. Anyways, we'll stick a pin in there for later, because we clearly gonna have to have a completely separate day in live for just nothing but discussion. Nothing but discussion. And maybe phone calls. I'm still deciding. So anyways, we started our review and we basically got introduced. We got introduced to Kay. We got introduced to Eve, Rika, as well as Saint. What did y'all find out from what we've already read? Did y'all learn anything that y'all didn't know already? I mean, even though, like I said, I know that this part has been read already. So a lot of what we read, just not new. You get what I'm saying? But I will say this, reading it again, instead of having it read, I still saw things that I didn't see upon initially hearing it be read. And so, maybe y'all did too. So I want to hear back from y'all. Tell me, if you learned anything that you didn't know. Were you shocked to find out anything? What did y'all think thus far? So we got introduced to Kay. We learned basically that Kay is the one that's no good. He just that nigga in your life that you meet, you know what I'm saying, that you know ain't gonna be your happily ever after. But even though we know that, we still treat it as if it is. And we do that because of how we feel when we know how we feel when we are with them. Because if it wasn't that, if it wasn't a good time, then it wouldn't be worth your time. It's almost like I want to say Kay will play the position of the bad boy. The one that it should be off the limits, the one that comes with the side. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, a guilty pleasure. Okay, so that's what I pretty much got from the role that he played. What we'll learn going on through the book about him is to be determined. But upon introduction, that's the vibe. Now the vibe I get with from Eve and Rika. Do y'all get a vibe? Have y'all learned anything about, how Rika and Eve might be in real time? Yesterday, me and Isha was discussing Rather or not she thought or we think Eve was out on a sabotage mission. And do y'all think that Eve tried to, like, this was her purpose, her point? She knew what was up? Because I don't know where this came from exactly, but if I'm not mistaken, there was talks about Cain and Eve living together at some point. Is that right? And that was not in the book. But this is something that was said on panels when the story was told. So yeah, this is something that Isha refreshed our memory on. So do y'all think that Eve, because Eve is referred to as the snake, remember? So do y'all think Eve was a snake so far? Because remember, I was like, damn, I wonder why when she initially told this story, CB, why she felt like the friend was, you know, the snake. Why she felt like she set it up. Because that's when she told the story. That's what she said. That's what she made you feel like she felt. And so I don't know yet, because her not being able to make it that night, I don't know if that's enough to say, oh, she intentionally did this. She lined this up. Now, on the other hand, if it comes out or it gets validated that Eve knew right from the start, then yes, that would make perfect sense to me how she became the snake. Now, what role or what light is Rika in? Because from what I can remember, Rika just was shit out of luck in this story. Right? I mean, Rika guilty of not getting chose, right? Being accepting the bare minimum. Because, I mean, it would have to say to me that she was willing to accept the minimum from a nigga for a nigga to be comfortable and confident, like fooling with her at one point, but cool with, you know, in my face talking to somebody else, showing your interest and basically choosing him. Is that how the story went? Y'all correct me if I'm remembering it wrong. Let me see. Let me get in the chat a little bit. Hello? Y'all talking to me. All right, so I'm looking at the comments. I'm trying to get to when I asked the question. All right, let me start with let me see. Y'all says, I don't believe shit in the book. CB trying to make herself look innocent when we the people know that she's far from it. So you think they're trying to make herself look innocent just from the start of the story and how everything got set up? Like how she ended up linking up with him? You say the star says she thinks CB is the snake. Chun Li says, I got that Eve was very jealous and manipulating. Okay. I'm still looking. CB and Rika wrong to me because she was supposed to have K first. But she didn't. Wait, but she didn't hate Chosen. Okay. If she knew, I feel like if CB knew that he was messing with Rika and she was completely okay with his disregard and disrespect towards Rika in order to show her the highest, then I know in hindsight she like, yeah, that really wasn't hitting on shit. Yeah, it to me it just says a lot. It say two different things about both of the ladies, but really about all three of them. All right, I'm gonna read one more comment, and then we'll move on. Hey, just me, hey Virgo. Nah, Eve was lying. Wait, Eve was what you going to do with my man when I'm not there? Wait. Do we need to go back through the book and make sure that Eve was not the man's, dip? So are we on the same page? We know who the characters are in the position they played. Or are you just suggesting that because what's his name, Tank, was there at one point too, that Eve was trying to see what type of bitch CB was in her absence? Is that what you mean? All right. Anyways, that's chapter 1 with the introduction and of K, right? Let me see, because I thought initially, did she say? I remember DG saying something about the devil or something when he was reading. I don't see that though. I haven't seen it yet. All right, now chapter 2 talked about being blinded by a nigga, being fooled by a nigga, right? It's being blinded by love. That's when she tell us, how her and Kay start to hang out. They already done hooked up. And she talks about now how things, and gives us a little, insight to pretty much like how their relationship was. Which for me, I'm sure it was several times during that time that a woman, didn't have waited enough signs, flags. But a lot of women ignore signs, ignore flags. And we spoke on that yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We will make an excuse. We'll make up a reason when a nigga ain't even trying. When a nigga ain't trying to make up no excuse for bad behavior. You know what I'm saying? We'll make up an excuse. Trying to, create something or build something or even hold on to something that's just not there. So like I said, in chapter 2, we basically get to, see what was kind of going on, how her and Kay, the inside of their relationship. We learn a little bit about how she felt and what she was hopeful for in that relationship. Okay. Now, chapter 3, remember it was referred to as the comeback. Now, remember I was saying that I didn't know what that meant when you first see it. You be like the comeback. It make you wonder like where that's finna go, right? So to me, it ended up being about Saint. If I'm not mistaken, I think that is when Saint get out and now he back in the picture. Hold up. Let me just refer back. Yeah, that's what I think. Because it starts off talking about, how her and Kay, they fell off. And they wasn't talking or nothing. And she talked about being cool with it. And then that's when Saint come up. So that's the point in which we go back in time, back before Kay, and find out who that first one true love, who held that title. And that was the introduction to Saint. It's pretty much just giving us the history on what she had to deal with and how long she dealt with him and, how she was with him. I didn't read anything about sex, love, and drugs. I didn't see anything about, alcohol or movie dates or, you don't get to see that. That is what I gather is she got the turn up from Kay. Now, if it was a turn up with Saint, then, I guess it still could have been. But according to what we know from what we read, it don't suggest that there would even, wine and popcorn type of nights. But she do speak of the homemaker, like the girlfriend, the long-term girlfriend, wife, fiance type of energy, the main chick type of energy. When she talks about, him being in prison and how long they had been interacting, basically from a teenager. You know what I'm saying? And with that love, you do want to give them the best pieces of you. So all that, she wanted us to know that she was a cooker, a cleaner, I'll rub your back if you need me to. I'll also iron your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you could do for me, I'm here for you to lean on. I'm here to listen, and if by chance you get in trouble, then I'm still there at that time too. So that's how we find out about, the stints and how she felt like she held them down. That requires visits, packages, phone calls, And I got from that she took some time, if not all, at least some, dedicated to just trying to be that down chick, that ride or die, doing time while she was in the free world. But at that time, that's what being down and being loyal and what one true love looked like. So perhaps that's what she thought she needed to do. Now it came a point when that ended. It had to. Because remember I said, depending on the time frame, and we know at least one of those stints was 3 years, right? So the phone calls will take you a long ways. Memories alone will take you a long ways. The visits, they'll help. Letters and history. History is mainly what keeps that together for the time. And you know, with history comes, your heart is tied. So they want the same as it relates to this for me. So history first. And once that wears off, and you know, because you are on the free world, in the free world, excuse me. And like it or not, we definitely get hot. But no more than, it ain't even all about getting hot. Sometimes we need that physical touch. And it's just only so much a phone call, even a video call, can do. It's not so much touching yourself can do. So I think that she got to a point to where she needed to physically be seen and heard and smelled, and that ended. So that don't mean that, because I ain't gonna say I believe that the relationship ended right then. I just believe that, you know, other people might have got invited into the equation. She was open. She became open to other people coming into the equation. But that don't mean she didn't still answer calls and, you know, make visits and take her a commissary or contribute at least. So what y'all think about that thus far? Is that a safe kind of summary? Let me get in the chat. Hold on. Hey OP. Hey Cooley. Hey Joe. Hey Simply. Hey y'all. We just continuing our conversation, our review, our discussion about the book that we started. So y'all feel free to jump in and discuss what we already know. We went through 4 yesterday. Hey, this bit. I'm in the comments, y'all. Okay, LBC says, remember when dude got locked back up? She got lonely. And then Kay came back around. And she was like putty back in his hands. Right. Right. So it I just described it exactly. And that tend to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think that that's something that's so far-fetched, you know. It's a lot of women that do time. But like I told y'all yesterday, shit, it became so normal now that a nigga will tell you, you know what I'm saying, to do your thing. Just be careful, especially if you're going away for some time, like 5 years and stuff. Yeah. A nigga will tell you. Why does that thing got moved? Hold up. It didn't even used to be right there. That is crazy. Anyway, so as long as you know, once I get home, once I make it back, all this shit's over with. So it ain't nothing weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, rather, it might not be normal for you, as for you and your family and your morals and values and boundaries, but it's definitely normal for somebody. Okay, let me get to the bottom. Charlie said, yeah, TT, she wanted that right now attention. Right. Best of both worlds. Well, what you mean best of both worlds? So you mean Because having a nigga that's locked up, what you mean? Oh, you might be meaning matters of the heart. She wanted the man that she loved, and that was her first love. But she also wanted the man that she loved the time with, the fantasy of. I don't know. What do we call that? What do we call that? The two types of love that she explained, that she described. What do you call it? So CB Snake Rika and Eve might have known that Kay had the bit. CB thinks Eve's a snake by not telling her. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I'm thinking. How does she know Eve knew he had that status? Sound like guilty conscience from stealing other guys' man. Maybe y'all tough. That JTYP say infatuation. Yep, because we gotta remember she wasn't attracted to him. So yeah, I guess it was some of that. But that wasn't the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for the word that will cover her knowing that he not no good for her. They probably not going to be together. And it's a turn up for the most part when she with him. What word would describe that? She loved the cocoa. Yeah, y'all be hard, man. And this is why you have got to make it up in your mind that once this internet shit starts happening, you cannot be phased. Child, you just got to make it up in your mind, because you can't do nothing about the fucking internet. You cannot. Okay, let me. Okay. Y'all talking to each other, so let me not read that. Hold up. Hey, Sugar. Sugar, I saw you just made a good old short now. I saw that. Oh, shit. Hold on, I gotta send something right quick, y'all. My bad. Hold up. Y'all, give me 1 second. Let me give y'all some elevator music, so we just not here quiet. And I don't want to just be rambling and forget what I'm talking about and all this. And I took my puffs, so just let me chill. I just want to be on chill tonight. Just let me chill. Yeah, I just spazzed the fuck out on y'all. I sure did.
I'm looking for somebody I can call. Looking for the only one I can
All right, y'all, and we back. Thank y'all so much. If you are still here, thank you so much for patiently waiting. Okay, I appreciate that. So I think we left off basically summing up the third chapter, which I think was, yes, we did, the comeback. So that was, like I said, the conversation or the introduction inside of CB and Saint's relationship. And it kind of give you, the start. And it tells you about what role she probably played or tried to play with Saint. Now, moving on to the fourth chapter. So, the fourth chapter, we get into basically the snake in the bed, right? And she talks about, it gives a vibe of like just sleeping with the enemy. What happened that brought Kay back at this point? I don't know. I'm just going to chalk it up to that's been the nature of the relationship. Popping in and out without notice and just falling back into old times or for old time's sake. It's just a old habit that did die hard. You know what I mean? Or that did die hard. Okay. So, let me see. She talks about I guess when she started to see a change, started to notice little things, but maybe dismissing them. And so I guess this is the first little glimmer, the little hint that, that inner voice, that woman's intuition, at this point, it had kicked in. It was there. Even if she decided to make excuses for, like I say, we talk about make for a man. And it's not just with this, like in this situation, but, we will make an excuse for why he didn't do something that says there's something going on if he don't do it. But instead of just asking them and getting the reason, we'll put a reason in place for him. And I think a lot of times it be for the sake of us not wanting to know the truth. Let me see. Let me find out my layout. Let me welcome my co-host in the building. Good afternoon, Isha.
Afternoon. Please, y'all don't start with me in the chat. But afternoon, everybody.
Okay, she said please. She said pretty please. So I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. I won't continue though. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm all right.
I mean, you sure? Because you sound real dry. Do you want me to get you a nice Coca-Cola?
Get myself together. Hold on.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, we were talking about just going over the chapters before we move on into the other stuff. Really just having a little banter about the things. I just want to kind of refresh people's memory on what it is you already heard. So again, like I said, to me, the fourth chapter is about the ignoring the little whisper, ignoring the little man in your head, ignoring that feeling in your gut, still trying to come from this love or overcome standpoint, but really it's loneliness that's just filling a void. And that happens a lot of times. Women accept a lot of shit for the sake of the relationship, just to be able to have it. You know, it's not any different from people being in love with love. You know what I mean? Or somebody being in love with being a wife. It's all about being married for them. You know, it's really a thing, and it's a lot of people that can't do without it. They would prefer that over anything, and for that reason, when their relationship way longer, they don't be equally yoked with their partners. And it goes both ways, y'all. This is not gender specific to me. It goes both ways. But we're talking about a woman in this case. So we have that's how we have a lot of your elder, you know, that's been married. They be like, girl, child, I've been married to Willie for 49 years. And baby, Willie B done took them through the motherfucking ringer, baby. Willie B done got 6 motherfucking kids on the east side of town, 3 on the west. Willie B done did knock the hell out you a couple of times, real bad. You know what I'm saying? Pawpaw wasn't no hoe. You know what I'm saying? When motherfuckers get talking about they Pawpaw from back in the days, and yeah, Pawpaw was a scoundrel booger. Okay? But a lot of times, y'all, our elders, your big mama, your great, you know, they be done stayed with men that are abusive, neglectful, just downright no damn good, because they ain't doing shit. They been a leecher and a motherfucking a schemer their whole life. They ain't worked nowhere. They ain't did nothing but hustle a little bit here and there throughout their whole motherfucking life, your whole marriage, your whole relationship, and you don't have to take care of them. Plus, they done laid down the pipe somewhere else, and now they got plumbing, faucets running all across the motherfucking town. But because the woman, the wife, had done made a family with Willie, Willie got away with it. Because the wife didn't know nobody else but Willie from a jit, you know what I'm saying, from a little girl, then she's afraid of life without Willie. So she stays and she accepts and she deals with. Again, the shit happens all the time. It's several stories to be told about shit like that. Hey, Callie. So that is what chapter 4 for me starts to talk about. It gives a little bit of a timeline about when her and Kay actually met. You know, again, let me see if it was, I think it was 17. Hold on, let me make sure, y'all. And I thought I just saw it. A Real Young Love, okay. Maybe I did. Wait. She said we met when we were 17. Okay, so yes. No, wait. Was that the same? No, that is Saint.
Okay.
That's Saint that she met when she was 17. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, she met Katie when she was what, 19? I'm trying to remember.
No, I thought she said 22. Well, I don't know. Did she say 22? Because 19 is when Saint went to jail.
Okay, that might be true. That's why I'm skimming through now. And another reason why, you know, if you're interested in reading the book, you really should get it for yourself. Okay. And again, remember I told y'all, to me, reading it word by word would be the only way to do it, because that way it's just alleviate any room. Like, it remove all room for the wrong information or the wrong wording. But anyways,
gonna be left in the wrong.
Okay, so she also still talks about Saint and describes Saint, the feelings and stuff that she had for Saint as well in this chapter. And this is when I'm thinking Saint get out when he went to jail that time. And she talks about Eve basically getting to Saint before her and lacing him up on whatever she been doing, while he been in jail. So that's why I said earlier that, she probably was still fucking with him on the commissary, taking calls, still being there. But at the same time, somewhat moving on, like, because she was lonely and she needed what every woman gonna need at some point or another, or gonna want at some point or another. So, okay, like I said, Eve ends up telling Saint that she's messed with Kay. Now that I'm reminded, the way that she said Saint ends up responding to learning that information, it do makes me think and wonder, is that the reason why Eve is the snake? Because, see, I see it two ways. I see Eve being on some, she could be three ways actually. Eve could have been on some just looking out because, I fuck with him. Or Eve could have been on some looking out because I know what I know about Kay and I fuck with him. Or she could have been looking and trying to be divisive. So I guess it just depends on which angle she actually was coming from, because I don't know Eve and y'all don't know Eve. You have to go on what she's saying. So, but now it's coming back to me and I'm realizing it's getting more and more clearer to me as to why she might be saying Eve is a snake. Was you about to say something?
Nothing. Well, I was like, agreeing with you and stuff. I feel the same way as far as them. I mean, her basically saying that Eve was the snake because of that one thing, because she took somebody that she cared about in her life.
Yeah.
So I guess that's gonna forever be marked for Eve. That's her name.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean took somebody? Are you talking about?
Saint was the love of her life. So Eve from her. But what I'm saying, not like took him like being with him, but she still tries Saint away from her.
I don't even know where you get that from. You saying that Saint was messing with Eve first?
No, what I'm saying is that I said I guess that's why she gave Eve that name, because Eve did take Saint away from her. She told Saint that she was fucking with another dude.
Oh, got you. Got you. So basically, like she salted. She salted and hated on her, is what you're saying. Is CB's point of view would be. Like, you dirty for salting me down, and now that's the love of my life, he won't fuck with me.
Right.
Okay. That is another
Yeah,
way.
she took somebody she loved from her. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She gonna forever be a dirty bitch.
Yep, you're right. That is another way of seeing it. So, okay. Well, um, okay, so to basically sum up chapter 4 as it relates to Saint, he was out of there once he got laced up. If I don't know if he skedaddled, because this is just left up to be determined. If he skedaddled because he already knew it was what had happened, he knew what was forming, or if he skedaddled because she wasn't being loyal and she wasn't just waiting for him to come home. Okay, those are, all questions to be asked. Now, she continues to talk about, she talks about the whisper, another time in which she had a clear sign come to her and tell her, listen, you need to see this, or you need to pay attention to this. So she go back and she thinking about a time in which she should have paid attention to something somebody had told her. So y'all remember that? That's when she was reflecting on, the lady approaching her in the hospital, just talking and saying, be careful. She talked about, let me close the thought off. She basically talk in that chapter saying that, she chose to ignore. And at that point, I'm guessing she felt like the love ruled all. She wanted the love. She wanted to be in love so much that she chose to ignore something that ultimately she wished she would not have. But at this time, she had no idea what it would cost her. So then you must be out now, Isha. Hey, Alex. All right, so moving on, we're into chapter 5. And chapter 5, it starts to speak about now she not just watching his sign, she not watching him. Wait, let me make sure. Hold on, y'all. Her body. Okay, I am right. Not only has she been able to watch him and see little changes and notice them, which made them big changes. Because if you start to notice this physically, then that's probably going to be a big old, a big change to you. I know people that lose weight, it fluctuates, goes up and down, but it takes a little while for people to even notice it. And if you've ever went on a weight loss journey yourself, you know that you typically don't get to see no real results them first few pounds. You might start to feel them, and they go both ways, gaining and losing. But you might start to feel the effects of losing or gaining the pounds, but you don't really get to see it yet. So if it's to a point where you can notice it, then it's probably a big change. So anyway, in chapter 5, she starts to not only notice his stuff, she starts to notice her own. So then she starts to describe to us some of the thoughts that she had. And I think this is when it gets into, let me be sure. Are you, because I was just asking you something, you didn't say nothing.
Yeah,
So
I'm fine. So with chapter 5 is, did you already name the chapter? What's the name of it?
I just told them that it's her body telling her. She started to pay attention to her own body. So everything is in my own words.
Okay. Just let me know when you're ready for me to intervene, because I read everything.
Okay, go ahead. I told them
Okay.
about it already.
Okay, yeah. So with chapter 5, from what I read in my own words, is when she started, having symptoms in her mind. She just felt like it just wasn't right with her. And then it starts from one symptom from the next. It just didn't sit well with her and her spirit, physically and mentally. And so, just her thinking outside, like thinking about the first symptom, which was, um, UTI, and the feelings that she had with it, like what she had with having UTI, like she had the burning sensation. She was hurting. She just felt so uncomfortable. And then, just her thinking about it, like, okay, she did go get antibiotics, which kind of cleared it up for just that moment. But, it still was doing the same thing. Like, it kept coming back. And she couldn't understand, like, why did it keep coming back? And it just made her feel just so sick. And it was to the point that her mom noticed that, she noticed that she wasn't feeling good. And, she kept noticing it, and she finally told her, like, I think you need to go to the hospital. And she thought to herself, okay, mom, you right, and she did state that was the first time she ever listened to her mom when it came down to that. So by her saying that, I don't know if her mom been telling her, you need to go to the doctor, you need to go to the doctor, and she just ignored it. But she finally took the words of her mom, because, and the other thing, everything else that came to her, she brushed it out. And we all know the signs that she brushed out when it came down to, Kay, the hospital, when she ran into, old girl, or even before that, the signs that she felt like, when he was disappearing on her, and
Yeah.
how, she, like, the the nun, like, basically not noticing her, like her calls, and the girls commenting under his pictures and stuff like that, that left her wondering and worried anyway. So, and then the next, symptoms that she started having was the lymph nodes. So,
Mm-mm.
the lymph nodes started showing, under
No.
her neck. The lymph node, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Well, they started showing, and she started noticing them, and they was hard, they was swollen, and they was a little tender. So, um, her just looking at it, she just felt like, in her mind, she wasn't ready for whatever that was coming. She wasn't ready, and it just had her mind thinking like this symptom, then the next symptom, and it just basically knocked her off her track. She was discombobulated. She couldn't sleep, she couldn't focus, she couldn't do none of that. She tell you, like, her body, she just felt off based on the feeling that she was getting, with all these symptoms that was coming to her and everything that was running through her mind. It just took her somewhere else, and again, she was not ready for wherever it was taking her. So, also, she went ahead and went to the doctor. Um, and she still sat there, um, just wondering. And she did explain to the doctor about her symptoms and everything. And after she was, talking to the doctor about her symptoms, it was a big question that she may was thinking about, but, I get she was thinking about, but she wasn't thinking about. But the question, was, would she like to be tested, for HIV? And that right there just sent her mind just wondering, because again, the whisper did come back. The whisper came back from the girl in the hospital. The whisper came back from when he was in the hospital. So again, it sent her mind just wandering out, like she couldn't concentrate. It was those was setting her head. The signs that she had already ignored was basically bluntly in her face. Like, now she see him. And so she decided to tell the doctor, like, yeah, go ahead and just test me, because, you know, she wanted to know, but she didn't want to know, but she wanted to know. And so once she got tested, she went home, and again, she was confused. She couldn't focus. She, in her mind, it was something wrong, but she didn't want that to be what was wrong with her, because she walked around like Casper the Friendly Ghost. She she was there, but she wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
I believe if I can add some context
Hmm.
to what it is. Um, hold on. First, let me say this. Let me see that. Who was that? Bobby said, "So is this? When you loud? No. So is this not a book reading like last time? Just an interpretation of what you took from the reading, from reading it. What this is the review of a book, and it can't be what it was yesterday, if that's what you mean, because we're already through to the 5th chapter. This is what it was always going to be. It was going to be a read and review. So we've already read what we was going to read on yesterday. And when we started with chapter 4, today is going to be just like what chapter 4 was on yesterday. So I guess to answer your question, kind of, sort of, because we did do this very same thing on yesterday. So I hope that answered your question. All right. So if I had to guess about it, I would guess that there were already some anticipation, because y'all know what we do when we start getting symptoms of stuff. We start looking it up.
Yep. I
So
believe so.
I feel like, you know, she already had went in with some sort of idea, because in the book um she talks about having this lump in her throat, basically, once she gets done giving the doctor her symptoms, so he can know what to check for, I guess. And his response, or was the question of, what do you want to be tested for, the letters? And so I think at that time for her, because she herself had already probably dug into it to look it up, was like, that was her confirmation to me at that time. Otherwise, I mean, it would be normal for people to be tested, right? But it might not, or you might not have the same sort of reaction or gut feeling, or chain of emotion happen if you think that you are exhibiting signs and symptoms of it. So yeah, I just want to say, add that in there. Now that's just my opinion.
Right, and yes, I can definitely agree because again, like when I was saying like the question that that hit her, like she did think about like everything. So yeah, I'm assuming she did go ahead and do her looking ups, to find out like, okay, I have this constant UTIs, I have swollen lymph nodes now, lymph nodes. So I would have been looking up symptoms too, like
Right.
if we all go to Google.
Yeah.
We go to Google, and when we get to the hospital, sometimes the doctors be like, hey, don't Google nothing, don't listen to Google. But hell, sometimes Google kind of do give you something that's left in your mind, and you be stuck with it. Cause I know I'd be like, oh wait,
Yeah.
this did happen to me. So, but they
Yeah.
always say stop looking it up because sometimes majority of the time they are wrong.
Right.
Those are what people just put out there. So I'm like, well, shit, I don't know. I
But
be
that
doing the
still
same
don't
thing.
mean, yeah, I was gonna say, that still don't mean we don't run to it. Even if we not gonna,
Right.
use it. I bet if it say something good, if it say something good,
We gonna use the fuck out of that.
we gonna get right on with it, baby. Okay. So, yeah, I just gotta think, we in 2025. This is a day of technology, and y'all seen me just get Chat GPT to break down a word to me. So that we utilize it for more than just that. We used to us getting on
Right.
here looking at DIYs and how to make cornbread from scratch, or perhaps how to change your oil step by step. But it's just constantly evolving, and with technology, it's just getting better and better every day for sure. You work with robots for robots are bringing you work orders. So the technology is
Hmm.
constantly moving, constantly. All right, so you gonna get to it?
All right. So, for a few days, she was still thinking about it. She was wondering about the results, like you know, when she was gonna get them, and she was scared to get them. It was off and on. She had those feelings, back and forth. Um, but she made herself tired, just wondering when they was gonna come in, wondering what the results gonna be. She made herself even sicker, just sitting there thinking like, she
So
felt
she's
like she
stressed.
had something.
Oh, I thought I was talking under you, but yeah, I just said she
Um,
stressed herself out.
she did. She most definitely stressed herself out. And she was, trying to pretend like everything was normal, but she couldn't because again, she had results that she was waiting on, and she, these symptoms that she just had, and she just was, again, she was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So when they finally came back, which this was January 2025, when they
Okay.
finally came in, she did get a negative testing. Her results was negative. So
Damn. Okay, so in January 2025,
mhm,
she get her results back. All that anticipation, the symptoms, the anxiety, uh, all that, and she's tested, and boom, it's negative. Wouldn't you be relieved? Except for she was not relieved. I didn't get that she was
no,
relieved.
I didn't get it either.
Okay,
She
go ahead.
wasn't.
I'm listening.
And the reason why, we both say that was because she was like, once she received the results, it was like she was staring like, this can't be true. And she
Right.
even said it, she
Right.
was like, how could she? Her body was feeling something. She felt something in her body. Like, how could she be?
Mm,
And she still just felt like something wasn't right.
right. You know what I
As far as
wonder?
like, uh-huh.
I wonder if there was a time period in there in which, although you have to listen to your body, people. It's a
Uh-huh.
valuable lesson, and this is kind of what CD is saying. She was getting the results, and she was getting black and white. That was just, it should have been some of the happiest news in the world to see that it was negative. It was no, but she just couldn't ignore her body that was telling her something else. But I wonder if she ever thought that, okay, cool, wipe the sweat off my head. It's not that. You get what I'm saying? I wonder did she ever consider the possibility or ever think that it was something else? You get what I'm saying? Like, nah, I tested negative for that, but could it be, cancer? Could it be something else? My body is telling me something. So I wonder about that. But
I wonder if she looked something else up and assumed that it could possibly be that, or it could possibly be like, she was just, she was sick, like flu-like symptoms, and
yeah,
um, be something new that come out. Because as a kid, I never heard of RSV.
right.
Me growing up, never heard of RSV, but somehow I caught RSV. I was like, what the fuck is
Mm.
that?
Well, what is
So
it?
it's basically an upper respiratory infection.
Okay, that
And
causes what?
normally it used to be common in kids. It caused the flu, it caused pneumonia.
Okay, okay.
Hmm. It most definitely does. So, and before it was just mainly just for kids catching it, but now adults can catch it, and it gets worse in adults. So, again, she probably was thinking like, okay, this was something that I probably never heard of. Um, because all this new stuff that's coming out, I'd be like, damn, it is some things that may be related to what she was going through.
Right. And that is a possibility because in the last few years, we definitely had some new names of some
Okay.
infections, stuff like that, that have, and viruses that pops out.
Yep.
Okay.
Rotavirus.
Right.
Like I ain't,
Right.
I ain't never heard of that. What the
Right.
hell is
I
that?
mean, well, just think about the Rona. I mean, the Rona, like, that's another thing that was major. So it was causing a bunch of pains and same type of symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So that was just a thought of mine that popped up. Um, and I also thought about this, what it must have felt like to be feeling like, okay, it's this worst thing, this worst case scenario, and then go in and get proven that it's not, because we know it as black folks, we just know shit. If you go to the doctor, which a lot of them don't, but if you go to the doctor and they clear you, then you're cleared,
Exactly. You're gonna run off of that. That one.
Right.
Yeah.
You would like to. So I wonder how that must have had to feel to not be able to leave there with answers. And I'll tell you something, a little bit about me. I can't relate in this exact same way, but I can relate somewhat because when I initially started having panic attacks, by the time I would get to the hospital, y'all, I would have, I would be completely normal. My heart would not be racing. I would not be sweating. I would not have difficult breathing. All of the symptoms that I would have in the middle of a panic attack, when I get
You
to the
won't have it
hospital,
a moment.
they would go away. So I got
Mm-hmm.
turned around and sent home, with no answers for my condition for a long time before I got a diagnosis. And just dealing with that alone, and we're talking about something that I consider major, but to know something is wrong with you and have people tell you that you are fine and not give you an explanation, it is not a good place to
That's nerve
be.
wracking.
Yes, it's just not. So, anyways, so I can
But that's
identify
that's
somewhat.
it's nerve wracking.
Yeah, it was. It was. Cost a lot of money too. All right,
Yeah.
so then, like you said, she ends up with the negative, but she still knows that something is not right. What's next? What'd you get next?
So basically, her trying to convince herself that maybe something ain't wrong with her. Maybe everything was just in the mind. Though it's like, okay, I fear something, but okay, if they told me this, then maybe this is, maybe this okay. Maybe I'm good. You know, maybe I was, the doctor told me this. I think I'm straight. But I still got a feeling in my body. Or my body's still telling me something. But again, she didn't know what was ahead of her. She didn't know what was to become. You know,
I
it
see one of her
was.
statements. She says, "I thought maybe I was tripping."
Yeah.
She said, "I thought maybe I was tripping." Maybe, just maybe, that little bit of maybe again to me, trying to make
She's still thinking it.
yeah, but still feeling
Yeah.
like it, still
Mm-hmm.
knowing that something is off. But again, we go to the doctor, we rely on them heavily,
Exactly. So you
and what
try to
they
roll
say.
with the punches.
Yes, yes. So okay, you said that she's
But I was saying,
well,
like, it, knowing that, something was still going on inside of her, you know.
Yeah.
It basically it was something there, but it just ain't show up on papers yet.
Okay. All right. So then it
So
looks like, because it looked like the end of the chapter 5. So in chapter
right.
5, overall, what we find is she starts to experience the symptoms, right?
Mm-hmm.
She starts to notice things, key things that are important, for teaching purposes. Is, lumps and knots in your throat that are hard and tender to the touch, and also apparently on your back, from what I could gather. So, that's just for information to know. You know what I mean? She also spoke about UTIs. Um, I didn't know that they were associated.
Me
I
neither,
didn't know.
girl. Me neither. I
Yeah,
know
I
they're
didn't.
associated, by me being diabetic, yes. I know that
Right.
for a fact. But
But
with that, I didn't know that.
I had no
Mm-mm.
idea. I guess it could make sense if you know, if your system is being attacked. I guess it could make sense, and I know scientifically it could make sense, but I never, you
Mm-hmm.
know, heard anybody say anything about having frequent UTIs be associated with the symptom. But it was for her, and remember, everybody's body is different. So we learned about her body starting to speak to her. We learned about her feeling it and probably at this point researching it, and that's probably drove her even more crazy, even more insane, that she put those symptoms into Google or whatever. And now, until she convinces herself to go get either confirmation or get cleared, she's walking around trying to be normal but not feeling normal. It seems like she's been in and out of good health. Seems like she's been sick a few times. So much so to people around her started to see. So at the urge of a loved one, okay, at the urge of a loved one, she saw about it. That coupled with what her body was telling her. And I cannot stress this enough about our bodies. They speak to us. You know that old saying, you smell your breath before anybody else do. That is true. You do. You got to smell your stink before anybody else do, which is why it's never going to be acceptable and understanding to me why anybody would approach somebody and not be fresh and clean. But anyways, I digress. It's the same thing as it relates to when things start to go wrong in this design, in this magical, I don't know, how do we explain the body? Because the body is it's weird, but it's incredible what the human body is made of and how it operates. It'll blow your mind if you really dive into it. But you know yourself just from the smaller things, how powerful the body is. I mean, we break, we bend, we open, you cut us open, we heal. You get what I'm saying? It is that right there alone is incredible stuff. And then don't let me get to push into how we recreate. And then it grows. Like, the body is just a magical thing. So when that magical thing starts to speak to you, then you should listen, even if it's in a whisper. So talks about making the leap, going, feeling all of this stuff, and then not having confirmation. Not being cleared, but not being cleared. It's being clear saying, no, that's negative, but I can't tell you exactly what's wrong. That's almost as good as not having an answer, not being tested, not being checked up. You get what I mean? And
Yep.
so, I mean, that's pretty much it for chapter 5. Now, for the sake of entertaining me, put a purple heart in the chat if y'all follow, if y'all understood that summary. Did you learn anything? You did it. Bye, Dakari. Did you learn anything that you did not know? Like we just spoke about learning that the UTI is, could be a sign. It does not mean that always, but it's just something to remember. All right. I see some purple hearts. Thank y'all so much for the participation. I really appreciate
Yeah, I'm
it.
gonna add my purple hearts too, because again, I didn't know about the UTI thing. Um, I didn't know that UTIs can be. I always thought like, I mean, they good. I mean, they not good because I hate the side pains and stuff like that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
again, I didn't know that it could be associated with something. To me, no, that's just something bad to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't know. I mean, it's
Right.
it's bad all the way around, but
Right, right,
I
right.
didn't know that it could be associated with something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dumbfounded. I was dumbfounded when I read that, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, I mean, and I've
But I
actually
mean,
read that.
infection. It's a. I don't know if it's consists of an STI, but I mean, yeah. I mean, no, I don't know, but it's an infection, and I know that sometimes when your body do feed off of infections, like me being a diabetic, it does like shake up some things because then like it caused my sugars to just go ape shit. Like
Right.
it shoots up high, and then I get a different feeling. Especially when I've been low, this whole time or normal, this whole time, like I can definitely feel the difference. Like once my diabetes start feeding off that infection.
Mm, exactly. And that's your body, talking to you.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. It talks in many ways. Right down to a headache. Having a headache is definitely a result of something, and they don't make it major, not all the time, because sometimes it is major. But nonetheless, it's still an alert. It's still a tap on the shoulder for something.
Right.
All right, so moving on to chapter 6. Chapter 6 is basically, it talks about, hold on, y'all.
Mr. Fake Queen.
Okay, so yeah, chapter 6 talks about basically the front. To me, it talked about the front, the acting as if nothing is wrong, and still not no admission, not no heads up, nothing like that, but instead making excuses for what is visibly. Hold on, I'm gonna have to mute this shit. Making excuses for what's changing physically, what's happening physically. So um she talks about still hanging out, still kicking it with Kay, you know, going and creating the vibe that she always had when she with Kay for months. And living in a fantasy, basically, which I said early on, a life of fun usually don't consist of much reality. Even after in our regular lives, when we fly out for the weekends or arrange a girls' trip or something like that, it is real. And we did do it. But when we talk about the real world, our reality, we're talking about what we do most of the year versus what we doing when we out with no worries, letting our hair down like there is no tomorrow. That's the night and the day in which you might drink in the morning. You might go to bed drinking and smoking and choking but you can't do that 7 days a week, 365 days a year, not and actually be productive and healthy and happy. You can't do that. So for me, she speaks about that reality, that false reality that she hung out in. And to me, this is after all the other stuff. So, this is just even in spite of. Now, what we'll have to see is as we go, if this is a flashback, if this is out of order, but comes to order if you just go through and read the straight book. So anyway, y'all just gonna have to follow. You want to say something?
So, I mean, yeah, it kind of put a question in my head,
Okay.
but I'm gonna wait till after we finish this.
Okay.
Um, yeah, we're gonna, we can go ahead and go straight through with this, and the next chapter, and then I'm gonna hold my questions because I don't know, just reading some parts, it something stuck out.
Okay. Well, make sure you remember it.
Oh, I'm most definitely gonna remember this.
Okay. All right. So she talks about I guess, after the random hookups and hangouts or whatever, um, maybe time had passed and she get a call. She get a call from Kay and he in the hospital and he wants her to, pull up on him. So she do. And the reason why I say time had passed is because of her responses. Her response is like, basically, I dropped everything. I ain't asked no questions. I just went, despite of, I just went, you know. So she basically stopped what she was doing. She went and she was feeling anxious. And when she arrived, she was anxious for some reason. I'm assuming that if the chapters are in order and we're on schedule, then she's probably thinking that the two are associated. But anyways, she said that he looked basically tired. He looked empty. She noticed his skin. She noticed, his face being poor or sunken. And she was basically saying the energy alone was just gray. It's just that feeling that you walking into bad news. Something ain't right. So like anybody would, you go in, you say your hellos and stuff like that, and then you find a way. That's what's wrong. Depending on your relationship to the person, you might go in and say what's wrong immediately. But sometimes, for the most part, I usually go and sit in the room, talk for a little bit, and then work my way around to it. Because, I guess I allow room for a person to volunteer the information versus me trying to, pull it out of. Anyways, that wasn't the case. She said she asked, and he was very dismissive. He was dismissive of the question. He was dismissive of being, having anything wrong altogether. Another time, a nigga want to act like, oh, it ain't nothing. But meanwhile, you up here laid up in the hospital. So it's something. But, normally we would be like, is this that male ego shit? You know what I'm saying? And in this case, I'm not going to completely write that off and say, ego wouldn't allow him to tell what about him. But I know it was more than just ego. It was probably a lot of embarrassment, anger, who knows what the fuck it is he thinking of, because who knows how long he been suffering, who knows if it's something new for him, who knows, we don't know. So it brings about a lot of questions. So anyways, he doesn't really give a answer about what's going on. And I guess before the conversation could really get in there, where she could really ask and pry and all of that, I guess it might have been time for maybe to have his nurse come in. And you know how nurses in your room every fucking 15 minutes, it seemed like. It's like one of the noisiest places to be is the hospital. There just ain't no resting. They want you to rest, but it ain't no resting, child. Anyway, she felt like he was acting weird with the nurse in the room. Probably laying up there hoping that she didn't say something that he didn't want said in front of her. Now, I felt like nurses should just be professional. And so in most settings that I've been in the hospital, the nurse may not outright ask, do you want me to talk in front of them? But they'll ease their way into by asking other questions like, who is this, your daughter? And if you've ever been in the environment, then you understand. A lot of times it seems like it's friendly conversation, but it's really them being a professional and them trying not to offend nobody and make nobody feel no kind of way, but at the same time, make sure that they have approval for certain stuff. So now, did that happen? I don't know. It's not in here, so we can only speculate. Nonetheless,
But I'm pretty sure it did happen. I'm pretty sure it did.
mhm. Okay. Well, nonetheless, she says everything changed once the nurse came in, and basically, once the nurse left, out of nowhere, he was ready for her to go. He put her out. So she's in there. She said she hadn't even been there long. Matter of fact, she hadn't even been there long enough to get no real true answer out of him about why he even in there. But by the Karen. But before she could do that, the nurse comes in. He starts acting weird, and then after that, he put her out the room. Now, she's saying to herself something ain't right, and I would have agreed. Something was completely wrong about that. Now, like I said, we don't know the banter that happened in the room. We don't know she said she hadn't been there long. We don't know how much time that actually is. If she had time to actually see what was going on, find out what was going on. Even just ask him, you call me up here. So you mean to tell me you just called me up here to lay eyes on me? We don't know what the conversation was, but I would like to think that if a nigga called me up there, then all of a sudden feeling some kind of way, want to try to put me out. To me, it was more that went on than I just get out. Like, no, I'm sorry. You ain't going to be able to get me to come all the way up here, find parking, get in the elevator, come up the east-west wing, and now you ain't even told me why you call me up here? Like, yeah.
Right.
Something is wrong.
I think he knew something. Like, to me, I believe that he called up there to see if she was feeling some type of symptoms or was she looking sick or anything like that. That's what I mainly truly believe. And when he seen her, she was okay. She didn't look the way he looked or felt the way he felt. It was an instant like he was pissed.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's what I'm going off of, because if you read, she did nothing wrong, but she showed up at his beck and call when he called her.
Right.
And
You
she
know what?
was worried, and he knew that we was worried about him, you know what I'm saying? Because she was just with him 3 months ago, and he was not looking or none of that what he had going on now what didn't take place before. They was just living it up 3 months ago.
Well, I thought they was
Well,
kicking it for the last
well,
3 months.
for the last 3 months, that's what I meant. They was living it up. And then all
Yeah.
of a sudden now he in the hospital bed. She was
Right.
concerned.
So that's another thing. The fact that they were kicking it for the last 3 months, and then she says out of nowhere, the call, and she just stopped. So it made me feel like, again, 3 months of kicking it, and then there was a gap there. Then
Mm-hmm.
he called out of the blue. Now, I hear what you're saying as to why he might have felt like he did and put her out, because she wasn't looking like he was looking, like he expected. Another possibility is he wanted to see her to see if she was looking any kind of way, to see if she was going to act or respond a certain kind of way, to see what she knew, in other words. So
Exactly.
that could have been a possibility as well. And so that is the end of chapter 6, y'all. Pretty much that's it as far as what we learned about in that chapter. Now, I will say that was a vague chapter to me, because, like I said, she really didn't get nothing. And although I do think it was more to be put there, it probably was just left unsaid. But it just don't, like I said, they didn't even have women respond, period, let alone a black woman. We don't just leave without saying what, why? Like, wait, what? You mean what? Like, we do. We just do. So I think that there's just some more to that. Now, moving on to chapter 7. We want to make sure that y'all are with us. Are y'all with us? Are y'all following? We are now approaching chapter 7. Chapter 7 talks about the day that she got her diagnosis.
The day
If
her
I'm not
life
mistaken.
changed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. That's what chapter 7 do. Okay. And once we complete chapter 7, we're gonna open the phone lines. So y'all can as a matter of fact, circulate that. Have y'all been circulating the book link? Because I haven't seen it. And I know my sister not in here. So let me see who else. Y'all not in here. Melinda, grab the actual book link though. Remember, we're doing just the book link.
I'm sorry. Salute to everybody at the store and in the chat. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah.
Salute at the
Yes.
store. I was
I hope
rude.
y'all are
I was very rude.
enjoying. I really ain't even seen but a couple of people in the chat from the store. Child, they getting so comfortable, baby. They don't even drop down and say hey no more.
Okay.
But I definitely see y'all.
We know you
Okay,
there.
so yeah, we definitely see y'all. We know you're there. That's the thing about Twitch. Anyway, so chapter 7 is the day that changed everything. Not technically, but what do you call it? Uh, when it's actually been identified, it's actually been said. Here's the proof. Okay, so
Yeah. basically.
That is chapter 7. And this chapter is about learning or being diagnosed. And it starts out with her not being sick, which is in May of 2025. So it starts out in the month of May 2025. And she actually feeling good, but that gut, that instinct just never left. It's been there for the last few months, ever since she had a first thought and feeling. And it's still there. Um, Still in denial, don't want to believe it. But she talks about an upcoming appointment that she has. It's her yearly physical. And I think that, although she already been to the hospital and they said no for what she was concerned about, at this point, it seemed like she just decided to, I guess, doctor on herself. If it felt like a cold, then treat it like a cold. If it felt like a UTI, then treat it like a UTI, and when I get to my doctor appointment that's already preset, then I can maybe get more answers. I can go into details. So she had an appointment scheduled, as she always do. And this is a time of year where she has everything checked. Now she says no skipping tests, no ignoring symptoms, and pretending. So no skipping tests suggests that I don't know why she would say no skipping tests, unless it's been times where she might didn't ask for the full panel or something, in her past when she
That's
went.
what I'm assuming and I'm going off of. Because sometimes when you tell them, like I've experienced it, sometimes when you tell them like I want everything,
Uh-huh.
they only, test you for certain things. Like I only got tested for certain things, and I was like, okay, like you ain't read out nothing. And then I had to go back and be like, no, I want everything. Like I want you to test my blood. I want you to test me for all. I guess you got to say STDs and
Right,
STIs. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So I did experience that, and I had to go back and get, the remaining tests and stuff like that.
Okay. So then that makes sense as to why, she quotes herself when she is telling them that she wants to be tested for everything. And she specifically says those letters included. um,
Yeah, but I think for your annual, you should automatically. I think they automatically do that. I'm assuming. I know if you got a doctor, I know my doctor does. But as you can see, like stated in like when she first got tested, the doctor asked her did she want to get tested for that. So she didn't recommend like to be tested for everything. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I guess that's what she meant as well.
Okay.
She
Okay.
just wanted to, see what was wrong with her.
So the doctor, agrees, and I guess when the test tell her, hey, all right, we'll do. Your results will come. Give it a few days. And so from there, it's just a waiting game. Now, if I had to guess, I would assume that during this time, the 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 most ailment came from her mental, because a lot of times after you beat up went to the damn doctor, for some reason, like all the bugs run away, all your symptoms go away. So it makes me feel like, it makes me think that she was probably feeling pretty decent, but mentally, which will make you sick physically, she was
Yep.
actually not feeling good. Um, she said, She did remember, I guess, and finally decided to check her, check for her results. I guess the days had passed. Hey, bag, thank you, baby. And then she remembered, oh, let me go log in and check. So she do. She go log in, she check, and she basically go through everything on the chart, and everything is negative except for the letters. She said it was like it was highlighted in neon green. It's like it was standing out to her like a sore thumb in big old bold letters that she was positive. She, of course, probably had rapid heartbeat, probably had sweaty pits, probably instantly got a headache because your blood pressure her pressure probably shot up. Probably instantly got sick to the stomach. Matter of fact, she says that she felt it in her stomach. She um, she needed to catch her. I think she probably was trying to process what she already felt, what she already, secretly knew. And she said I guess, how we hit the refresh button because the chat might not pop up the first time. Or we need to refresh our phones because it's got us stuck on something. So she felt the need to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? When she saw what she saw, she needed to refresh, and nothing changed after she hit the refresh button. She talked about how it felt. She talked about the emotions. She talked about, breaking down, crying, just that whole thing that you could probably imagine that somebody would do. She said she felt like, in other words, everything was over due to that one positive. If I had to sum it up, then I would sum it up. That she felt like everything had crashed out and came to an end due to that one positive out of all of those negatives. She then talks about delivering the news to loved ones. So the first people that she reached out to let them know, God, of course you're going to need a support system, where the one end, you don't want to tell nobody. On the other end, you need to tell somebody before you lose your shit. Before you go crazy, you have got to be able to say this out loud to somebody. So she talks about telling, I guess I would assume to be the two closest people, and that's going to be her mom and her sister. She did it by way of text message. And I won't even, I'll leave that there, leave something for y'all to go back and cop for yourself. And she said that initially, even they didn't believe it. Was you about to say something?
I'm gonna wait till you finish.
Initially, they didn't believe it. But I'm guessing that when, people know you, so they tend to know when to take you for serious and when to think that you might be trying to make them, trying to convince them of a lie. And I think that she might have given off the right impression to let them know that she was not playing. She was not joking, and that she was, in fact, very serious. So I guess she made it to the house. So I'm assuming she was out and about when she checked her results. She was not, home. Now, I don't know. I would have probably, with all the conviction that she already had, with all of the medical Googling they probably already had done, mixed with the signs and symptoms, mixed with the signs and symptoms of the nigga, I probably would have wanted to open up that type of mail with my support system. But I also know of situations where I wanted to deal with them all on my own. And I did not want nobody around me, when I had to deal with it. So, I mean, of course, she dealt with it the way she dealt with it. But anyways, so I guess she got home, and of course, she feeling like the, you know, life is over, and she just went to her private space, or her safe space, her closet, whatever's your safe space, to be alone, to just let it sit and sink in and process, or try to start processing the fact that she was just diagnosed. Now, she talks about the date, which was the date that she's already told us, May 21st, 2025, being the day that changed everything for her forever. And that is chapter 7. That is chapter 7, y'all. So, what y'all think? What do y'all think? I said I was
Ooh,
opening
okay.
up the phone
So
line. The phone lines are now
I think you
officially
should
open.
open up the phone. Yeah, open up the phone line. But I mean, I know that it was a hard pill to swallow, even though she had already knew in the back of her mind that that's what that was possibly was. I mean, we can all basically um really say that, she knew it was that, but she didn't want it to be that.
Yeah.
Because the when she first got the results, and she was like, how could it be? I know something is wrong with me. It was like her mind basically went to that, like, okay, how could I, the first result, how could I be negative? I know I'm not negative. Like, in her mind, she knew she wasn't
Right.
negative.
Right.
You know. So we can all basically allude to that. She knew that she had came into contact when she was really positive for that. So she that's what she said. Like, it was in her body, but it didn't show up on paper.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't show in that black and white for her to really just go off of, but in her mind she already knew.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, because the signs was there. She knew it. Especially, the way he looked it, before she even ran into the chick in the hospital. He
Mm-hmm.
was already looking a certain type of way. He was already, she had already sensed something was wrong with him. But she was waiting on him to tell her, but she had already sensed, like, okay, it's something that it's not good. And then, the chick came and told her, okay, well, he gave his baby mama this. Like, be careful. And
Right.
then seeing him again, but in the hospital, and he looking the way he looked the first time, but it was even worse, you know, and how he just dismissed her so quick because she wasn't at that hospital long enough. It was just like she was there and she was gone, all in the matter of a couple of seconds. So again, in her mind, she already knew that that was the result. It was indeed positive. But again, she had to wait on it. That's why she decided to go ahead and get retested because she knew. Now, my question was, when she did get the results. well, when she did get tested and it came back negative, this was in January of 2025, and she said she continued to still party and do everything the next 3 months. It
Now,
just,
that's what I got
sorry,
from
it
it.
just,
And I want to go back and I want to make sure that that is what she said after 3 months with Kay, laughing, ignoring the truth, it started to show. Okay. So then it just jumps to one day, you know, uh, the random call about visiting at the hospital. And then she go into
mm-hmm.
that. So yeah, that is right. Like I said, I don't know. And then let me go back before this and make sure that there were always some other. Yes, it was signs. There were the UTIs. There were the all of that was before the conversation about for the next few months of hanging out, knowing that something wasn't right and something wasn't adding up. And then, like I said, moves on to the phone call out of the blue.
Well, we know she had to been looking up something because when she came and she told us that she had, the other diagnosis,
Yeah, some
and she
sort of
tried to name it, the
yeah,
limno,
yeah,
what limno, what I'm saying? We all
lymphoma,
knew
I
she
think.
had been doing, been doing some type of research.
Yeah. Well,
We knew
I
that.
don't. It wasn't called that, but I remember her thinking, saying,
Well,
well,
she
she
said
might have
something
said,
with the lymph nodes because she
yeah,
did say
something
that
with the lymph
her
nodes.
lymph
Yeah,
nodes was like swollen. Like she did say that she did tell us that her lymph nodes were swollen. She did say that
yeah,
when she went into explaining that diagnosis.
right. You mean the cancer one?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think about what Chevy's saying? Chevy says that
Um
so a doctor does not give those did not give those results. She read it off an app in New York that is not allowable. A confirmatory test must be done to be deemed positive. Positive. So you're basically saying that she probably would have been ordered to come back in and do it again. Now I do know of that. Once they go positive, they do another one right away to confirm that. So
exactly. That's what I was saying. Like when you become, you still have to go through those steps. Like within 3 months, they're gonna retest you again. That's what we was talking about yesterday.
no, and I'm not even talking about
But
3 months. I'm talking about as soon as you can get back into the office to do the lab work to have another test ran, and then after that,
well, yeah, I think it. I didn't know like it do it so quick. I thought it was like you gotta wait a period of time.
well, I mean, some doctor offices may practice it that way. We was talking about this yesterday about how different doctors handle different things. So it's
Well, that's
possible
true.
that some will make you wait, 3 months or whatever. But I also know, and I'm not even talking about with this particular diagnosis. I'm talking about trying to see if something is cancerous. You know, once it's identified, once it's a positive, then they want you to come back immediately so that they can make sure that it's not false positive. So, um, anything else that stood out to you? Was that the question that you was holding?
Oh, but no, 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 no. So I was saying like after her first diagnosed, she was negative, and then she proceeded to go turn up and have parties and stuff. I'm still gonna go back to now. We all knew who was around when she was turning up and having parties and stuff, and I don't
You
want
mean
to.
partying? So Who you said
We
when
knew
she
that
was
it was we knew it was KP that she
okay?
was
So
partying with.
okay,
So I was just thinking, like
what
in
you
my
mean
mind, like,
from YouTube? Because she would come on YouTube with him or what?
mhm, mhm,
Okay,
mhm. So it just had me thinking, like, is this the person, or knowing that she felt something, knew her body wasn't right? You know, how could you allow yourself to be involved with somebody else? You know what I'm saying?
right. And I'm under this assumption too, like, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this shit gets real confusing because, like I said, initially it was her and Smurf who was supposed to go over to KP and deliver the news, right? Am I mistaken?
No, you're not mistaken. That is
Okay.
absolutely correct.
So then, I mean, because I remember Smurf, on the piano, talking in the background, talking about how it's more than one way to be pleasing, and he was so, overly willing to be by her side and support her through this, and it was just even then it was strange to a lot of people, so again, everybody's under the same conclusion that the person that's in question would be KP. Then it shifted in a short time. It went from being the supportive partner that wasn't just going to abandon her in the time of need to being the assailant, the accused. I mean, and then we got to witness
Exactly.
anger. We got to witness her be mad about the fact that he gave it to her. He did this, and so her
Mm-hmm.
response was to let the world know. She wanted to be known. She popped out talking about him. She popped out on Lax with images and videos. She moved around
Yep.
to other platforms with videos. The message was to be put out that he was a monster. He had, in fact, infected her, and she wanted everybody to know that he done that to her.
Exactly.
Now, from there's been a switch in, relationship because we watched them by way of courtesy of her, by way of the Ring camera, you know, go through this spat, separate, and then
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in between there, while Josh was off being this wholesome person, they ended up making amends, yeah, let me separate the two. So they end up making amends, and now she's now back on the side with Josh, and they are working on, because at first it was just friends. That's just
Yeah.
my friend. It's just my friend, and then it gradually moved into baby. So even though it wasn't so gradual, because all of this stuff kind of transpired fast, from diagnosis to two people being accused to a third relationship, which is Josh.
That is
So
true.
now we are now being told or led to believe that it
This is
maybe it
somebody
wasn't.
else.
Yes, it wasn't Smurf after all. It wasn't Smurf after all. So we're just left to go back to Naughty Book AP. And well, it is other people, but my thoughts about them people is, they themselves have to be tested in, a month or so. Like it is two other people in there that are now, as a result, have to be tested before they
Exactly.
are cleared. And this is from her, because if you had to
But
convict
again,
two
remember,
other
this is
people,
still around the time when her sister
What about her?
because at this time, you know, her and old boy fell out February, March, April. Yeah. Her and old boy fell out, and then it was just, the sister come along, and I'm gonna fuck him, and then it was oh, you gonna get, that, oh, B, that's why you got, the three letters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm still gonna point that out because that was basically the timeline that came after, and then bam, you got your results in May. So I don't.
Okay. So that basically to you says that you already knew. Because
If this is what she's talking about, and we adding the timeline of what we seen around that time, and then bam, we already knew she had a feeling that she had it,
yeah.
and by her
Oh
blatantly
yeah.
just blurting
That's
something
blatant in
out,
the book.
not, yeah, and by her not, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we found that out, and by her blatantly just blurting it out, she knew she had something. She knew
Yeah.
she had it.
Yeah. I mean, that would lead you to believe that because, like, at the time when all this is going on, of course, nah, you're not putting two and two together. Hell, at that time, people really were just looking at 88 for maybe holding a secret nobody knew about. Maybe she been with somebody that we don't know and she
Mm-hmm.
knows something we don't know. But now, in hindsight, and you put all of that together, it make you wonder, well, why did she say that's why you got it? Why did you say that? Just like the time where DG reminded me of this when she, was the assistant when she popped back out this last time, and she was telling Josh to live in his truth. So,
She most definitely was telling him that to
but
to
see,
live in his truth.
at
And
that
I was like,
time,
what is his truth? Like,
yeah, at that time, we was just like, she just saying, CB just saying stuff and doing what she normally do when she get on that level, and maybe she think he being fake, or maybe he be over there talking shit, about everybody else, and then by the
but she
cat.
been hollering that last year
Right,
to live in his truth. So it's
right.
just,
Well, yeah,
and to me,
yeah,
the timeline for me with this is that she, this is the views of me that she been having this since last year,
yeah. Well, see,
or
even back
probably,
then,
or she's been having a little bit longer. I'm not gonna say last year, just a little bit longer than what she's putting out in the book. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But she has always hollered, "Living your truth," and I'm like, damn, is she trying to say he gay? You know what I'm saying?
Well, of
Like,
course,
I've
that's
been
what we
saying
gonna
this
say.
shit. Exactly, when you tell somebody to live in their truth.
And then this is what this comes about. Now, again, y'all remember, she ain't just started saying that. She definitely have said that before, living your truth. But that's why I said what we all probably took from that back then when she was saying it. You know what I'm saying? Which was he being fake, he probably talk about people and so on and so forth. And that don't mean that ain't what she meant. But she also has said that recently as well when she first popped back out
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, talking shit, you know? And so, of course, one is going to say, what is that, where does that fit in? Now, with knowing the shit that we know now, like, what exactly do you mean by that? But it's all giving her several things to, fill in the blanks with. I mean, that's what happened when you read. And even if it was a million pages, I'm pretty sure it would still be something left not spoke about. But it's definitely a lot that's left to the imagination from thus far, from what we got. And Josh was always saying he knew something deeper about CB that we didn't know, but he didn't want to go there with her. I remember that. Now that you said that.
He most certainly did. Especially during the turn up that he did on her, like, and when he finally admitted that she did drugs and all like that. Yes, we most certainly did, and that's why I say this go further back.
Mm. And see, I remember things, especially once people remind me of them. I'm like, oh yeah, that was said. But like I say, at the time when the shit is being said, it don't really have no relevance. Especially if a person not about to hold on, because Isha, they be throwing me off. I can't focus. Especially if now what the fuck was I saying? What did I say, Melinda? I literally forgot.
Well, you were still talking about Josh.
I know,
And
but
we
what
was
was I in
talking
the
about
middle of saying?
her basically telling basically saying like,
Just say you don't know either. I
no,
think it
I
was
forgot the
something
word that you just used.
I
So I
think it
got to
was
come up with
something about.
you use the word that shit. You be using goddamn big ass words that I could not even
That
think
was
of.
not. I don't. That was not a big word at all, Bam. That
That
was
was a
just
word that
not.
I don't use. Shit.
Oh, okay. Well, I ain't gonna say it probably wasn't it, but hell, I don't forget. I know the point of what I was saying is that saying stuff like that when you remember stuff when people say stuff and you don't have no relevance at the time, but you get to let time pass and you look back in history, you think about stuff that was said in history, back in history. Then you just gonna put two and two together. You're gonna try to anyway. You're gonna try to, especially at a time like this where we're actually going through and we're reading the book and we're discussing it. So, yeah, about the relevance.
But he
Yeah.
definitely knew something.
Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Mrs. Miss. Somebody listening.
And she
Somebody.
used another word, but basically that, I was trying to think of the word that you use. So to get you to think about the whole sentence that you was trying to say. But go ahead.
Yeah, the phone line open. Well, thank you, Isha, because you definitely wasn't successful. But thank you. You tried.
I was trying, but again, I mean, it's a lot of questions in our mind, in our head and stuff, and it made me think back, like, okay, so y'all remember when, um, Josh was talking to 88 first, and then he went straight to CB, but then out the blue, he had said that he had been knowing Courtney, and I was like, what? He been knowing her, and I was like, how the hell you been knowing her? Where you meet her at? And this time, please be quiet, y'all. At this time, this is when he was talking about when he stayed in Sherman, Texas.
Yeah,
So
you told me that. I was like, wait, what? And I do kind of sorta, but it's still real hazy. But what was the circumstance surrounding him saying that he been knew her? Because it seemed like I remember him
because
saying
everybody was saying like, "Oh, you bouncing from one sister to the next," and he was like, "He been knowing Courtney,"
so
and we was like, "Huh?
he
How is it that you been knowing her?" Because we felt like he had just met her, you know what I'm
right.
saying, just then. So that right there stuck out with me as well. And it was just like, I don't know the timeline when he was out there in Sherman, but we do know that CB did deal with somebody in Sherman, Texas. And I think that was Bubba.
Oh,
So
okay.
again, like, you got to think about things that has been said back then that now we take into consideration. Because shit, once this came out, it was just a lot of shit that started flying at me, and I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, me just thinking in my damn head.
Yeah.
But we clowned him and shamed him like, man, you ain't been knowing that girl. Stop lying. You just met her right now. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, that's what I
I
always
don't know. These was the words of you. Okay, don't kill the messenger. You most definitely said that.
Yeah, I thought they actually had their real, first conversation on my panel where they actually, kind of the start to me. I mean, I know they had been seeing each other in other places, I think at 88, so maybe on cams, I can't remember exactly. But I think that I know when they was on my panel around the time she had just,
Nah, actually, Bubba was most definitely like she had to go to Den and stuff. So I specifically remember 88 hollering about how she was in Den and all like that. So I don't remember him being in McKinney. He probably being here in McKinney now, but I'm talking about back then, back then. That was close by. Like, yeah.
that's crazy. 279 of y'all, and over half of y'all voted to open up the phone lines. Y'all had 2 cents. Y'all actually had 2 cents. And nobody has called the phone. So the phone line is now closed. And
Y'all don't
the
remember
phone
Bubba.
line,
Bubba was a character that was unlocked because didn't 88 no CB brought Bubba to the drawing board because she wanted him to prove some things, that was being said by 88. Y'all remember that? And this is around the time they named Josh the editor because I forgot who called him the editor, but this was definitely around the time that Josh was called the editor, and we was trying to figure out how is it that if she ain't talked to him in so long, it was just like soon as he called, they were chopping it up with a conversation, huh, Bubba? Like they had been talking, you know what I'm saying? Because for a person that you ain't talked to in a long time, it's just like, what's up? Like, it will basically leave some type of conclusion like they ain't talked in a long time.
mm-hmm. And then look
Now
at
I
what
don't know what Bubba looked like. But
Callie did. The
going off
dad
of
had
how
to
Smurf
report.
looked and that old man she brought to the board, and well, I don't know how KP looked, but them was some ugly ass motherfuckers. I ain't even gonna
I mean, even she admitted that, the person in the book wasn't attractive. So whoever that is, we don't know for fact, but
Yeah, you remember 88 said that she used to do drugs with Bubba as
the
well.
phone line is open if you want to hit it. LX. I mean, it's been open all this time and nobody called in, so I just closed it. But that don't mean the phone ain't gonna ring if you call it.
Okay, yeah, the brother said that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because he just didn't understand the relationship between CB and Josh because how it was presented to him that they was friends. So he didn't know that they was together. So yes. So it was all around this time. Y'all are basically alluding to the same time, the memory that around everything when everything started happening. So yes.
Yeah. All right. So, any other thoughts with it? With what we've heard for today?
I mean, this is all my thoughts. The father and the recording brought Bubba to the board. Okay, yeah. So I don't know, y'all. It's just too much because Bubba did come up um in the time period. Okay, Bubba did come up in the time period. So we do have multiple people, multiple guys.
Yep. And I don't
Now,
know. We still haven't completed the book, so it is to be determined if anybody else comes up, if anybody else, from what we know on YouTube, in YouTube world, from panel conversations and discussions versus what we getting ready to read, we'll be able to see if those people are included. Of course, not by name, but by character.
Right. And I see Star said, if I'm not mistaken, it was sad brought by a family member that CB had a pimp. Ashley was brought in that conversation too. Just what I remember. I mean, she did get on here and tell us that she did used to sell cooch. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that was in the words of her. We
Yeah,
didn't make that shit up. So that's why I'm confused on the blaming other people when you kind of live a wild lifestyle.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Admittedly, I mean, and not just that. Like, it's all fun and games. Let me. Oh my
She said, "What the fuck I got to
God.
do with it?"
Fun and games when you are living that life and you footloose and fancy free and it seems like you having fun and you partying like a rock star. All that's going on and it's a good life until something devastating happens, until something life changing.
Exactly.
And now, you know, instead of looking at all of the things as a contributor to how we got here today, it's some kind of way shift into something else. And they kind of go along the lines with like what my personal opinion is in making this seem so, light and airy and yeah, it's a stigma. It's a word. That word is being used very heavily, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
stigma. It's a stigma. It's a stigma, and you have to use certain words when you're speaking about certain subjects in order to get the point across. But I really do think that it's each and every one of our responsibility to use the words responsibly, because otherwise you end up sending the wrong type of message or the wrong type of idea, whether that's intentionally or unintentionally. But to me, that's what going through the fire. That's the type of person that it break down and build. Like, in order to be an advocate, you need to live, sleep, breathe advocacy. You got to know in every sense of the letters of the words what it actually means. And that's for anything that you want to throw yourself behind and into. And that's for a reason, so that you don't become desensitized to what the latest slang is, so what's become cliche to say, and you don't want to become a character with it. You need to be, I think it's just a responsible thing to do, so again that you don't start sending out the wrong signal. And yes, just because people can live longer, because people can do some of the same things as somebody without it can't do, it's still not a message of encouragement to, be irresponsible and possibly get it. That's not the message that one is trying to convey. That's not the message that one is trying to push out there. The message is prevention and awareness, to change the stigma, to help people understand perhaps where the stigma came from, and to show and prove how now in 2025 that has changed to erase that stigma. So anyways, that's pretty much it for me. You got something else you want to add?
No, I don't have anything else I want to add. I mean, I added everything else. I'm putting the timeline myself. Not intentionally, but it's just things that when I read and think about a lot of things, that's what comes to mind.
Right. It just kind of fall into play. We talked about this yesterday. Like, the more we talk about it, different things, the more we read, the more other things that we've already witnessed, like watching a movie or watching TV, they're gonna, remind us of times, and they're gonna come up, and we're gonna discuss them. So, y'all, I think that concludes the second half of our
Our book.
that concludes the second half of our review. We reviewed chapters 5, 6, and 7 today. So now we've made it through 1 through 7, and tomorrow we will continue. We're going to cover chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let me make sure I'm right. Yeah.
Hold on, I thought 8.
No,
Hold on.
8. I'm sorry, 8.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're gonna start with 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, that's enough. That's that's enough. I was gonna say 12, but no. We're gonna do 8, 9, 10, and 11 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And there will be on Friday. It will be our open discussion day, so that we will be free to just discuss the book as a whole. It won't be no, reading and reviewing and none of that stuff. We'll be through with the book at that point. And so we'll just open up Friday for just an open discussion to talk about what we now know since we'll be done. So with that being said, thank y'all so much for joining us. I hope this was enjoyable, and salute to everybody that popped out to show support. Everybody that was interested. Again, y'all know how to get it if
I
you're
did
interested.
want
Y'all know how to grab it if y'all interested in grabbing it. Thank y'all for supporting the goal. We didn't hit the goal, but we most definitely had love shown. Thank y'all for the super chats. And well, the phone not ringing, and I'm not trolling.
but I did want to still congratulate the winners from yesterday. Again, congratulations. And we are still doing it this Friday, or we're gonna kind of push it a little out.
Oh, my bad. My
But
bad, y'all.
remember,
I had it on D&D. My what
oh
you say?
shit, come on now.
No,
I,
please
I
don't.
said,
Just not.
I said, I did say shout out to the winners. That the $50 giveaway again, Yana and OC girl. Shout out to y'all. And I was asking, were we still doing it this Friday, or was we
Yes.
gonna push it out? Because I know
No, we're gonna do it Friday.
we still sticking. Okay. So again, we do still have our 2 individuals, our $50 giveaway. Um, so that will be Friday as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. So, um, you know, again, it will be on subscribers mode. And I think you said what, at least 3 to 4 months or something like that.
It's 4 months.
Okay, yeah. So it will be to those individuals who have been subscribed for that amount of length of time. So again, thank you. Oh, and shout out to my baby. It's his birthday. But go ahead.
You sure? You positive?
I did go on mute and you can see. I did go on mute and you seen that.
Okay. I wanted to open the listen, my bad, y'all. I had it on D&D. I had the other line on D&D. So my bad,
So we
baby.
probably was getting calls yesterday.
Yes, we probably were being called yesterday, and I just
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Lord.
I apologize.
I called about 5 times. It's crazy.
yeah.
I
My
don't got 2
apologies,
cents. I got
Alex.
75 cents.
My apologies, Alex. My apologies.
I was hurt last night how y'all did, man. Each I thought we was better than that. You supposed to have my back.
Oh,
I ain't been
I'm
telling
supposed
you
to
to
have your back, and you keep telling me that I'm getting the papers.
y'all don't run off with the money. I'm hurt.
Oh, just feel his pain.
But my feelings is definitely hurt.
Okay, we feel your pain.
Yeah, I feel I could have gave that money to somebody for Christmas.
That is true,
Thanks,
but
Isha.
tap in Friday though. You could still win
Oh,
your.
Why are you blaming me? And she the one that looked at your answer, and she was like, you said it before I even finished. Hold up, it wasn't me. That was TT. That was her
Yeah.
rule.
Y'all was taking.
Why
Y'all was
I gotta
taking.
be blamed?
I already knew what it was from the first clue that you said.
You know what? I may have to go on a leave of absence.
Now
You might have to.
Now she talking about a leave of absence, child. Like she gonna get paid off or something. Okay.
Oh no, it's getting ran off by LX. That's crazy.
That is the crazy work. I agree.
Hey, TT, if she leave anyway, she always late every day, so it'll be like you doing it on your own.
That's kind of true.
Just saying.
Yeah.
But no,
Really? Oh, really?
Whoa.
It's not funny no more. But yeah, I was gonna call in.
No, it's not. It's not Sugar Man birthday. It's Fly Rubber birthday. Sugar Man birthday was last month.
Okay, well, good luck to you. Okay, we definitely will have it open.
You know what? And I hope he don't win Friday.
Well, my guess is he will. Wait, what the world? Sending me messages in that on that number.
Let's go. Let's go, OP. Like, come on now.
Well, what are y'all talking
Opinionated justice for me, because y'all just doing me any type of way, and I want the one that even came up with that rule.
Well, what rule?
That you was like, you had to be finished before they put the answer out there.
That is true.
Putting the answers out there before you finish. So
That's not
it wasn't my fault that he put the answer out there and he got disqualified.
He disqualified himself. I mean, I'm not gonna apologize for him not following the rules. I'm just not. Okay, I'm just sitting here a couple of minutes in case somebody else wants to hit the phone line. Since I did have the number on D&D, my bad, y'all. Sorry. And let me say, wish Fly Rebel happy birthday as well. Happy birthday, bro. Many more, and many more. So when you tilt your cup up, just know I'm cheersing with you. All right, so nobody else
He
has
told me maybe his Wi-Fi was too
fast. Ain't no maybe about it. It had you ahead of me. Shit. I didn't even know what I was gonna say, and you had already answered. And answered correctly.
He sure did answer correctly.
So I don't know. Not only is your Wi-Fi fast, it's got psychic power. It can read my mind.
He came out like before you even finished, he had the answer. Like as soon as you finished, the answer was already in the chat.
It was already going up the chat. All right, y'all. Well, that's it. Nobody else is called, and we're gonna get out of here. I don't want to make this way long. We already been over our 2.5 hours, which is where I prefer it to be. So I might just start doing that. Let's just stop it at 2.5 hours. But anyway, not to drag it out no more. Again, I want to thank everybody that popped out to join us. I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. I hope y'all look forward to the next part. Again, it will resume tomorrow. We will get through 8, 9, 10, and 11. And until then, y'all be safe. Thank y'all for the support. And look for the notification and click the bell. If y'all enjoyed the show, on your way out, give a purple heart and hit the like button. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all.
Salute y'all. Salute.
Thank you, Isha. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Sorry I pulled up late. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, maybe. I might take your apology. Anyway, so
I was tired.
This will conclude the review of Still Her. The Woman Couldn't Kill. Well, until tomorrow, y'all. This concludes today's. That's by Courtney Brown. And yeah. We're going to get to it. I'll see y'all later.